truck, it was important for me to find a truck that fits my lifestyle. Not only do I use my truck as a daily driver, but I also need it for long road trips, and I enjoy hunting and fishing. So it was important for me to get a vehicle that can handle all of those things. So today I'm just going to show you guys how the Honda Ridgeline performs when you're going on hunting trips and fishing trips. I've taken this truck all the way to Canada from Minnesota for fishing trips. I've taken it to Wisconsin for white-tailed deer, all the way down to Utah, Arizona. I've done a lot of traveling with this vehicle for hunting purposes and just for hiking purposes and camping purposes as well. So I'll just go over how the truck worked for me, how it worked with my two boys back here, Mr. Mako and Blue, and how well the truck packed all of our stuff. Because when you are going on those longer hunting and fishing trips and you're camping overnight, you end up with quite a bit of stuff to pack in the truck. On a couple of our trips, we brought a large inflatable raft that actually takes up about a third of the box in back. So we've put this truck through a few different situations, I guess, unique situations that not everybody will come across, but I think it was a great way of testing the truck and what it can hold. When I think of requirements that I need in a vehicle when going on a hunting or fishing trip, I think of reliability, because most of the time when I am going on these trips, they're far away, anywhere from 8 hours to 16, 17 hours we've driven that far. How much storage the truck has, because when you are going on these trips, I generally go with a few people and we end up accumulating quite a bit of stuff. So it's important to have plenty of space and not be too crammed inside the truck or have your stuff too crammed in the box of the truck. Comfort is also very important when on these long trips. The Honda Ridgeline seats are extremely comfortable, even the back seats. Not that we're using them right now since I've got the dogs back there, but I can sit in these seats for hours. I do have to change my position a little bit once in a while, but they're extremely comfortable for those longer trips. Something that's really important to me is that there is plenty of room in the back for the dogs in the rear seat. We're able to hold that right up, and they've got plenty of room back there. There is that plastic bar in the middle that the seat locks into when folded down, so that's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but to fix that I just put a dog bed over it and they lay down just fine. Mako here likes to stand up and see what's going on, but Blue's just hanging down and taking a little nap, so they're very comfortable back there. When going on these trips, I always end up dirty, muddy, just causing a mess whenever I get in the truck. So the seats are extremely easy to wipe down. They're nice leather seats, so I just take a wet one to them or the Armor All. But one thing that's really important is to have nice floor mats. It's good to just spend the money right away and get rid of those like cloth, whatever they are, and upgrade to some nice floor mats. The floor mats that I've got right now are Lost Fit, which they are a sponsor for this video, just a heads up. But I've been using them for a couple of weeks now. I used them on a recent pheasant hunting trip that I went on in South Dakota with my 3 brothers. So I've gotten some very good use out of them. And on this channel, I'll be completely honest with whatever sponsors I have, if I'm sponsored with their products or whatever's going on, but I will not be biased with their products. I'll give you my honest review of them and how they perform. A few neat features of the Lost floor mats is that the truck was actually 3D scanned to create the floor mats, so they fit in perfectly, fit in every little crevice on the floor that you could possibly need them to, which I really like that in the rear they go not just in front and in back of the plastic bar that the seat hooks to, but they also go on the side. Because with my other floor mats, there would always be a big collection of dog hair on the side there. But with these floor mats, there's no issue at all. If there is an accumulation of dog hair, dirt, mud, I just take out my floor mats, dump them on the ground, and then they're good as new. And you can also spray them down with a hose, wash them however you need to. So I find that really handy. because there's nothing worse than having a big mess on the carpet of your vehicle after you remove your floor mats. You know, what's the point of a floor mat if you're still having a mess there afterwards? One thing that is not my favorite about the floor mats is that only the driver's side locks in. The passenger doesn't have a spot to lock in, and the rear floor mat, which it is one piece, it's supposed to lock in place, but the hole where it's supposed to connect to is actually like a half an inch to an inch off. So not sure what's really going on with that, but just thought I'd let you guys know. Another thing that I enjoy having on my hunting and fishing trips is a bed liner, which the Honda Ridgeline has a built-in bed liner, but I have found that when you're spraying out the box of the truck because you got fish slime or you loaded a deer in there or a turkey and there's blood all over, it's much easier to just remove the bed liner, spray that out, clean it up. Another advantage of having a bed liner in this particular truck is that since we've got that like secret compartment in the box of the truck, it's can definitely accumulate a little bit of blood in there if you toss in a deer or if your turkey or pheasant's bleeding a ton. So I really don't want to accumulate blood or guts in the crack of the truck because that'll end up smelling and be disgusting. So this way the bed liner goes over that and you don't have to worry about it. On that recent South Dakota pheasant hunting trip that I just went on, I did find a bit of a downfall with the Ridgeline. As you guys know, the ground clearance is not spectacular on this truck, which really hasn't been too much of a problem for me. There were some high clearance roads back in Utah that I wasn't able to go on, but not the biggest deal in the world. But in this particular situation, there was a no maintenance road that we were going to go up to and get on some public land. And I actually was not comfortable taking this truck on there because the ground was just rutted out from people in the past driving through there in the mud. So I think that if I was in those ruts, I would actually be scraping the bottom of the truck. So we weren't able to use my truck, which I was a little bit disappointed in. I wanted to test it on that, but it wasn't worth ruining my truck. So we ended up taking my older brother's truck, which he's got a full-size truck with quite a bit more ground clearance. So that was a bit of a bummer and definitely a drawback for the Ridgeline. As far as reliability goes, this truck is a Honda, and Honda is known for making reliable vehicles, and the Ridgeline is no exception. I've only had my truck for about a year and a half now. It's a 2023, but there's been absolutely no issues so far, and I don't expect there to be any in the future. But when I'm talking about reliability, I'm not just talking about the engine not blowing up or something going terribly wrong. I'm also talking about being able to rely on the vehicle to get you out of a snowstorm, out of some mud, whatever situation you can get in. I've had this vehicle for 2 winters now, and I love driving this thing in the snow. Even when the majority of the road is ice, it still performs very well. The all-wheel drive system is just amazing on this. And I have yet to be stuck in snow or mud, so hopefully that doesn't happen this year. But I would like to get a little bit of snow this year just so I can drive the truck in the snow again, because it is a blast, and I'd like to just show you guys how it performs. But no luck on that yet, so if we get some bad weather, then you guys will get that video. So stay tuned for that. There is a fair amount of storage in this truck. As far as the bed goes, you've got plenty of space in there for all your things for your trips, but my favorite thing is the compartment under the bed, because I like to put in my first aid kit, my straps, the spare tires under there, just anything that I probably, hopefully, do not need throughout the trip, and I can just keep out of the way, and that way I don't have to be working around it the entire time. So I would definitely not advise putting anything that you're going to use while driving in there, or something that you're going to need quickly, because if you do end up needing something from that compartment, you're going to have to move everything off of the top of it to access whatever that is. But I love it just to get things out of the way and to keep things organized. Overall, the Ridgeline does make for a great vehicle to take you hunting, fishing, camping, you name it.
It does everything that I need, minus a couple of off-road or low-maintenance roads. Other than that, it does a fantastic job at everything I need it to do. Thank you guys for watching the video, and stay tuned for more.